So let's go to our game view here. Actually, while we are here, let's just click these two files, and we're going to notice tidy up our files since they are getting more and more. This is gonna be my home view. Yeah, and this one I will add to game view. And let's actually add these two folders together into a big view folder. Call these views. Okay, and game button, I'm going to add it to a different folder. Call these secondary views. So it's easier for us to find things now. So in our game view, let me close the panel here and click on resume. Sometimes you will need to click it more than once to get it started. So what we need to build is on top we will have a text, then we will have a button, a loading view, and this nice lazy grid here with our tic-tac-toe gameplay. So text is very easy to add. The button we already have, so let's start from that. I'm going to keep this text here, and let's say waiting for the player, something like that. And let's actually put everything into a VStack, because we're going to have more than one view here. So on top will be our waiting for the player. Then we're going to have a button with a label, and label is our game button. We will initialize it with a title is gonna be quit, and background color, let's say color, and we want a system red. All right, so our button is here. I'm going to print for now quit the game. Okay, and let's put another text here, just for the sake of having all the information. I'm going to say loading view. All right, and this should be visible only if we are not, the game hasn't started yet, so we are waiting for the other player to join the game. And then I will put a spacer here. Spacer will basically push everything on the screen apart, so it will take all the white space. And underneath, let's put another text and say the game area will be here. So we say game view here. All right, so once our game view will become bigger, our spacer automatically will get smaller, so it can push everything around. So let's quickly run our application to see if we can see everything. Let's click on a play button. So we have all our user interface. I can click on it, it says quit game, which is okay, what we expected. Let's just hide this, and now we can focus on our game area, because the loading is very simple. We will add it in a short video. So in the game area, what we are interested in, if we look on our ready application here, I can see we will have a VStack here, because we are going to have 3 rows of vertical stack, and then we will have just a grid of these circles, and then once our user clicks on them, we will have another view on top of it. So basically we have the background, and X or O, when our user clicks on it, we're going to put it or remove it depending on our game state. So we will have a lazy grid there, and let's start applying it. I'm going to create a VStack here and a lazy V grid with columns, and we will need our columns here. Content, I'm going to put first spacing. Let's put spacing of 5, and the content will be here. So our columns we are going to put in our view model once we create it, but for our test purpose now we can create it one here. So say let columns, and column, this is going to be type of array of grid items, and it's gonna be equal to, and let's create a grid item. We're going to create one with flexible. Oh, we don't need actually this, just simple flexible is enough. Okay, and let's create 3 of these actually, because we need 3 rows. Okay, and now I can pass my columns here. And click on resume. It should take away our text because we have removed it. And now we can actually work with our lazy V grid. So what we want to do is we have 9 circles here, row 3 on each row. So in order to be able to have access and understand which cell, which area our user is clicking, we are going to use a for each loop. Then we are going to record the index where the user is clicking, because this is very important part of our gameplay. So let's say for each, and we're going to do 0 until 9, and which doesn't include 9 because we are starting from 0. And I will say I in, and I will be our index. So we have access to our grid item, so we can capture these and understand which one user has clicked. And in order to make our game view possible, we are going to have a Z stack, because we're going to have one view on top of the other one. So we have the backgrounds, and then when we click, we will have another view on top of it. That's why we need a Z stack. And our Z stack will have 2 items. The first one is the background. We can do that. In our case, it's just a circle. So let's create a circle. And let's give it a background color. Foreground color of blue. The color changed, and we can actually change the frame size because it's very small. And the frame, we don't want to hard code our frame, because depending on our device size, we want to make the circles bigger or smaller. So we are going to use a geometry reader to understand the size of our screen. And then depending on that, we're going to determine the size of each circle.